Her name was Amarachi, a 26-year-old woman from a small town called Umuokoro. She was beautiful, skin like polished ebony, eyes like wet coal, and a figure that made men turn their necks wherever she passed. But what stood out most about her were her breasts. Full, heavy, and perfectly shaped. They were a blessing she never asked for, and a curse she couldn't hide. Amarachi lived in a small one-room apartment with her mother, a retired trader who fell ill years ago. Life was hard. Amarachi sold akara and pap by the roadside, every morning before the sun came out. Yet, even in poverty, her dignity was her crown. But men never saw her pain, they only saw her chest. At the market, men followed her with their eyes, whispering to each other. At night, some would stop by her akara stand pretending to buy food, just to talk dirty. Some would offer her money, 5,000 Nigerian nairas, 10,000 Nigerian nairas, even 50,000 Nigerian nairas, just to spend one night. She refused all of them. She would rather sleep hungry than sell her body. Part 2. The Temptation. One day, a man named Mr. Collins, a local politician, stopped his SUV in front of her stall. He smiled with confidence, his sunglasses reflecting her face. "You're too beautiful to be frying akara," he said. "Come to town. I'll take care of you. All I need is one night." Amarachi felt insulted. She smiled politely and said, "Sir, I'm not hungry enough to sell my soul." He laughed and drove away, but later that night, some of his boys came to her house with envelopes of money. She threw it out of the window. Her mother, weak from illness, called her name softly, "Amara." Sometimes, life requires sacrifice. Tears filled Amarachi's eyes. "Mama, I can't give my body to buy peace. It won't be peace anymore." Part 3. The Unexpected Visitor. Weeks passed. Business became worse. The rains destroyed her table, and she started borrowing to feed her mother. Then one hot afternoon, a clean, well-dressed lady in sunglasses stopped by her stand. She introduced herself as Miss Ifeoma, the marketing manager of Embrace You, a new Nigerian lingerie company. "You have something special," Miss Ifeoma said, observing her. "We're looking for a woman with natural curves. Someone real. Someone who represents the everyday African woman. We're launching a new line of bras for full-chested women." Amarachi laughed, thinking it was a joke. "Me? I'm just an akara seller." "Yes," the woman smiled. "But your body tells a story many women understand. We want you to be our brand ambassador." Part 4. The Turning Point. A week later, Amarachi was invited to Lagos. They took her measurements, gave her new clothes, and put her in front of cameras. For the first time in her life, she didn't feel ashamed of her body. She felt powerful. The brand campaign, titled "Real Women, Real Shapes," went viral online. Billboards in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt carried her face. She became an overnight sensation, the akara seller with the golden heart and the perfect fit. They paid her well. She fixed her mother's roof, bought her medication, and opened a small boutique. Part 5. The Men Return. When she became famous, the same men who mocked her before started calling. Mr. Collins even sent flowers and text messages. But Amarachi didn't need them anymore. She wore her crown of success quietly, elegant, confident, untouchable. At a television interview, the host asked, "You were poor once, and now you're rich. What changed your life?" She smiled and said, "My no changed everything. The same no that cost me food once brought me fortune later." The audience clapped. She continued, "They saw my body as something to buy, but I saw it as something to protect. Today, that same body feeds me with honor." Part 6. Her Legacy. Months later, Amarachi started her own charity, Dignity First, to help young girls in poor communities. She visited schools, teaching them self-worth and the power of saying no. When her mother passed away peacefully that year, Amarachi built a small clinic in her memory. She named it Mama Nkechi Women's Health Center. The same breasts that brought her shame had brought her fame. Not because of their size, but because she learned to value herself beyond them. And whenever people asked her secret, she would say with a gentle smile, "God gave me this body as a testimony, not a temptation."